So there will be so many devices that we can develop the IoT applications. So in that one particular device that we can concentrate on is the uh, Raspberry Pi device. Whatever you are seeing here is the Raspberry Pi device, wherein I can explain each of the components of this device. So here whatever we are seeing, so the plugged part, so this particular is the wire that is connecting to the power to power on the Raspberry Pi device. Once it got powered, you can see there are two lights that are blinking here. So one is the red light and another one is the green light. So it will keep blinking. So that means that the Raspberry Pi device has been powered on. And later on, let us understand the other things, the other components that we can connect to and also that we can use to the Raspberry Pi device. Whatever you are seeing here is the HDMI port. If at all you are connecting it to the desktop system, we need an HDMI cable to connect it via the VGA card to the monitor, because Raspberry Pi is just a mini computer or a processor, or even we can call it as a CPU, to which we need a monitor. So that is the reason why we can use this particular port, that is the HDMI port, to connect it to the monitor. And this particular port is the audio visual port, wherein you can connect the audio video cable via this, and we can have that particular thing. And coming to the next one, this particular pin part, whatever you are seeing here is the camera module, where you can connect and you can use the camera module. So it is exactly written there also, camera module. And coming to this part, so this is the one where you can check, you can see there on the board itself it is written, clearly written, display. So this is the display unit where you can connect to like a LED display and all, and you can use it. So the camera module is over display module, power, and the HDMI cable and the audio visual part. And whatever you are seeing here is this middle board. This is the one which enables the Wi-Fi on the Raspberry Pi device. So this enables the Wi-Fi connectivity on the Raspberry Pi device. Coming to the next part, so here you can see the pin part. So this is exactly the pin that is on the Raspberry Pi board. You can see here. So this is what exactly the pin that is on the Raspberry Pi. Totally there are 40 pins on the Raspberry Pi device. The numbering will start like this. So here if we check, so I'm pointing with my finger, you can see here. So this inside one, so the first one represents the first one, and this outside one represents the second one. Like this it will go in a zigzag way. I will try to just once again show this one. So 1 second. So here whatever you are seeing, okay, this particular one, this is the first one, pin number 1, pin number 2, this is a pin number 2, and this is 3, this is the next in a row is 4. Okay, so like this, all the inside pins will be the odd numbers starting from 1 to 39. 1 to 39, and the outside pins there. So this is the outside pin. So this is the second pin number. So fourth one, sixth one, like that it will keep on going, so till the 40th pin number. So this is how exactly the pin numbers will be. So it is, the pin number is zigzag, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like that. So it will keep on moving till the pin number 39 40th. So coming to the next set of components that we have on the Raspberry Pi device, I will just focus on it. You can just check over here. So these are all the different ports that we can have on the Raspberry Pi. So checking with this particular ports, you can just see how many are there. So the first one, whatever I am putting here, indicating, this one is the Ethernet card connection port. You can connect the Ethernet card directly over here, and you can have the connectivity for the internet. And this we can make the Pi in a LAN network. and even if it is enabled via Wi-Fi LAN also, we can make it in a LAN network. So these are the 4 additional ports that we can have on the Pi device for the connectivity of the mouse, for the connectivity of external devices like mouse, and one can be for keyboard, and another 2 you can use as the purpose comes. So it can be the USB device or any other devices that we can, hard disk, portable hard disks and all we can connect to. So these are the main things that we can check out with the Raspberry Pi device. And how to connect it to the monitor. So for that we need to install VNC server on the Raspberry Pi. Beforehand we have to use one particular thing, that is the card reader. You can just check over here. So there are multiple types that are available as the card readers. This is one card reader that we can use, wherein you can see the slot here. So to that slot we have to insert an SD card. So that SD card will be, you can just check here. So I have inserted one SD card here. You can see that card, SD card. So this is the SD card, 16 GB SD card I have inserted. Without this SD card insertion, the Pi device is of no use. So because we have to install some software onto the Pi device and we have to run it. So that is the reason why this SD cards are useful. And in order to install the Pi software, whatever this Pi software we need this particular SD card. So this SD card reader, we have to insert the card in the slot, and you can just put it onto any of the system like the Windows system or the Macintosh or even the Linux operating systems, and directly download the Noobs folder, that is not out of the box software folder, and directly download that NOOBS folder into that card. So insert this particular card reader into your device, okay? So whatever the device into your laptop, like the one what I am doing here, you can just check here. So I will just insert it like an USB. Yeah. So like this you insert and download directly, opening the Google, directly download that Noobs folder, okay, and take it out. After downloading we have to just remove it, and after removing, so from here directly from the slot, okay, wherever we have inserted the card, we have to remove that slot card from the slot, and then insert that card over here like this. So once it is inserted, we have to download the VNC server. We have to connect it to the monitor. How to connect it to the monitor? So directly, we cannot directly connect it to the monitor. We need to make sure that first we have to connect it to the desktop system, and make sure that this Raspberry Pi device and the desktop system are working in the same network. So preferably the Wi-Fi enable, we have to enable the Wi-Fi hotspot and make them in the same WLAN Wi-Fi network. And then later on you can just install VNC server onto the Pi device. When it get connected to the desktop itself, we have to download the VNC server onto the Pi device. And beforehand, once we insert this SD card, it will ask which Raspbian, it will give a interface asking which Raspbian operating system you have to install. For that, you can choose the Raspbian OS. Directly, it will just double click on it, and it will keep installing all the things like an Linux operating system. And once it gets installed, it will show the desktop system like the Raspbian OS. Likewise, it is going to show the desktop system. So similarly, okay, Linux operating system, whatever we are having, similar way it is going to show the Linux operating system. I will just show it 1 second. So like this, it is going to show the Linux operating system. Similarly, you can just view the Linux the Raspbian OS, the system that is running here. But how the desktop, and once it is removed from the desktop, again we have to get it connected to the laptop. How it is possible to connect it to the laptop? For that, as I mentioned, VNC server has to be installed in the Pi beforehand, and then remove it from the desktop connection and then connect it to the laptop. How to connect it? For that, your laptop connection should have a VNC Weaver software to be installed. So I will just show you. So here, if I type VNC Weaver, you can see my laptop is already having that VNC Weaver. I've already installed. It is going to give that VNC Weaver software. So you can just install that VNC Weaver software with your account opened. Okay. So once it is done, what we can do, we have to make sure that the Raspberry Pi gets powered on. I will directly connected to the laptop itself to power it on, and then here we have to run. I will show here. So the VNC software, so it will be asking like this. You can just check over here. So VNC, and make sure that you have logged in, and you can keep just keep your password. I have logged in. You can just check out here with whatever the account, and here you have to just type the Raspberry Pi device IP address. How to find out the Raspberry Pi device IP address? For that, I have used the command prompt. So directly I have used the command prompt, and you can just check out here. There are two devices with dynamic addresses, that is 198.168.43.123. Okay, so another is for my laptop. So what I did, I have used the command ARP-A. Okay, if I type IP config, it will give the IP address of my only my laptop. So instead of that, I want the other devices that are nearby. Okay, using the address resolution protocol ARP-A, if I type, you can just get to know which are all the dynamic addresses I have. I can try out those dynamic addresses putting in the VNC Weaver. I tried this particular address, that is 168.43.123, typing here in the URL bar. Immediately it will show the desktop, because both of them are in the same Wi-Fi LAN. So I will just click on it. It is going to show me the connect directly. It will ask the password and username, credentials it will ask. So usually the username will be Pi, and the password will be Raspberry. So directly it will keep connecting, and whatever the complications or connection problems you may get or errors you may get, there are so many videos available on the Google. You can just search it and you can directly run the things, and you can get to know what is going wrong, and you can connect it. That is also possible. And you are right now you are seeing both the Raspberry Pi device and the laptop are in the same Wi-Fi LAN, running in the same Wi-Fi LAN, and they have been connected in a WLAN. Okay, without any cable connection, directly they have been connected via WLAN or a wireless hotspot enabled connection. Okay, so this is how exactly we can run the Raspberry Pi operating system. And as I mentioned, it is just a CPU, and I have provided a monitor here. So this exactly shows how to connect, how to make the Raspberry Pi device in a WLAN, and even it is possible, virtualization is possible. It can be get connected to the multiple systems. Okay, so likewise you can use 2 to 3 laptops and get it connected to the same. Only thing is we have to make sure that it should be connected to the same Wi-Fi hotspot, then access point. Then it is possible that we can make multiple systems to be in the same LAN, and we can view the same desktop, the Raspberry Pi desktop on all the connected devices. And this is how exactly we have to install the software, and we have to run the Raspberry Pi operating system in the laptop. Okay, so other than this, let us understand some more components that are required to build an IoT application. So this is what is nothing but a breadboard. So this is what is called as a breadboard. So it has got 2 lines over here. So at the end you can observe. So this is the middle one is for the connections, and these connections at the end, so plus and minus, you can see the negative series and the positive series. Negative series and the positive series will be connected directly to the board from here. Okay, so these are all the middle one parallel connections can be done here. And coming to this, these are the jumper wires. there are multiple types of jumper wires that we can use. Okay, double pin, single pin, or no pin. So there are different names that are given for these kind of jumper wires, male to female, male to male, male to female, like that. Okay, and coming to the next set, the very basic things that we are using in the IoT device or the LED things. Okay, so these are all the LEDs that we use, the basic one. Let us start, we'll start with the LED experiment only before moving to the other. And the next set of actuators that we are going to use, components, are the resistors within 1K. So these are all few of the resistors that we can use. So LEDs and the resistors. And coming to the different set of what we call the actuators. Okay, so this is one actuator, so a buzzer, one kind of buzzer, another kind of buzzer, you can just see here. Okay, another kind of buzzer. So right now we'll use or stick on to this only these kind of actuators. Okay, LEDs and buzzers. And let us know about few of the sensors. So this is one sensor that we can concentrate on, what is called as LDR sensor. Whatever the head, mounting head, you can just okay, mounting head here is there. We'll just focus on. So this mounting head is the one which detects the light intensity. So you can just check over here. There is a kind of so this is the mounting head which will check the light intensity. Based on the light intensity, this particular sensor is going to work. And this sensor, that is, whenever the light intensity is more, it won't switch on the light. Whenever the light intensity is less, it is going to switch on the light. Basically this sensor is having one second. So this sensor is having 3 pin. You can just check here. One is VCC, another one is ground, middle one, and the last one is the input pin. So these 3 pins we have to connect, and we have to check out with the light, check the light intensity, and based on that it is going to work. So the next one will be the ultrasonic sensor. So it is basically used to identify the distance. So the object is at what distance, that particular distance measurement, we can use this ultrasonic sensor. This ultrasonic sensor is having 4 pins, as you can see there. Okay, so this sensor is having 4 pins, VCC pin, okay, and echo pin is there, and trigger pin is there, and ground pin is there. So during experiments we can get to know more about these ultrasonic sensors. And coming to the next set of sensor is the rain sensor. You can just see here, this rain sensor has got 2 components. One is the circuit component, another one is the input component. So in the circuit component there are basically 4 pins. Okay, out of that we can use only 3 pins. One is ground pin. You can just check over here the pins. During experiment I will explain how exactly these pins have to be connected, to what it has to be connected, what input has to be given here. This is the basic sensor part, this is the circuit part. This is what is called as the rain sensor. And the another next sensor that we can concentrate on is the PIR sensor. You can just see here, this is the PIR sensor which has got 3 pins. Okay, so this is these are the 3 pins that we can connect to. And once we open this sensor, so there is option given to open this sensor, we'll get to know which is VCC, which is ground. Inside that slowly we have to open it, because these are all not very costliest sensors, very affordable sensors. Okay, so inside that you can just check which is VCC pin, which is ground pin, okay, and which is output pin also. It is very clearly written out of these 3 pins which are the output and other pins. So this is what is called as the PIR sensor. Okay, so PIR sensor is nothing but the passive infrared sensor. And as I shown, so this is what is called as the Fresnel lens. So this part, This is what is called as the Fresnel lens part. So this is the one which is which will be identifying whenever an object moves in the hair, it causes some friction, due to which infrared radiations are induced into the hair. That will be identified by using this Fresnel lens, and that is the one which is going to identify that there is an object movement. So this particular PIR sensor is used for object movement, identification of the object movement, or object detection we can call. Okay, so the next one is the DTH11 sensor. We call this sensor as the temperature humidity sensor, which is a very popular one. So during experiment we can understand how to connect to the pins and how to measure the temperature and humidity. Coming to the next sensor, so this is what is called as the gas sensor. So this is gas sensor that we can use to identify the whether there is gas available in the air or not. So any gas is detected, especially for the home automation purposes, we can use such kind of sensors. Okay, and the next one is the sound identification sensor. So this is what is the sound sensor that we can use. Okay, and apart from these kits, there is also another set of kit that we can use, is the Node MCU. This is the Node MCU. Basically, whenever we are using another IoT kit, that is Arduino kit, we can use this Node MCU above that, because Arduino is not enabled to connect to the Wi-Fi. This Node MCU is able to connect to the Wi-Fi part, and this is an additional one, we can use it. And also there are so many other sensors like the Bluetooth sensors are there. Okay, so right now whatever that is available for me, I am showing all those sensors. This is another sensor called as a Bluetooth sensor. So this is about the different sensors and different things that we are using for the IoT purposes. Okay, so I will explain the experiment right now. Once you have gone through and you have understood all these things. Okay, we'll stop here for the components and the different things what we learned and understood about the Raspberry Pi device, and later on we'll start the experiment.